Well, see, this is the podcast that people have wanted. This is the podcast that people have asked for since August 2nd. We get to say hello to our now bearded friend, Jordan Montgomery. Hello, Jordan.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, bro?
So, it seems as though you've kept with tradition of all people who leave the Yankees and immediately grown out a beard, yeah?
Yeah, I'm always a beard guy in the off season, so I figure I'd just get it going.
Get it going early, right?
Yeah, get it going early. I don't gotta wait a whole month into the off season to have it right.
Yo, it's crazy because you look like perfect in the Cardinals red already. Like the very first start when I saw you in the uniform, I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. This is a good spot.
Yeah, it's working out good.
Yeah, I'd say it's working out good. So, I mean, Jordan, there's obviously a million things we want to ask you. First of all, let's just dive into that uniform thing. C and I both were almost laughing watching your first start because we were like, it really does. It's like uncanny how cardinally you look.
Yeah.
When you put on that uniform and then you're seeing pictures of yourself, like, were you kind of like, oh yeah, this kind of feels right. This kind of looks right.
I mean, the Cardinals are known to have big starters, so I kind of fit right into the profile.
No, but you sent me that picture right away and was like, oh, this looks kind of odd, like with the red shoes. But like when I saw it, I was like, oh, nah, I think, it's going to work out perfectly, especially, getting a chance to settle in. The Cardinals got so much tradition coming from New York, going to St. Louis with that fan base and then having Waino there, having Mad Dog there, and then Yadier. I just thought it was like a perfect situation for you. How does it feel like having all of that and those people, surrounding you and supporting you? How does it feel being in that clubhouse?
It's great. Dudes here are incredible. Position players, pitchers, coaches, training staff, weightlifting coaches, everybody's solid people. And you weren't lying. Waino and Yadier were the first people here to say hey to me, and they kind of welcomed me with open arms.
We've had Waino on before, and he was just a wonderful guest, which for anyone who has not heard our episode with Adam Wainwright, highly, highly recommend going back and listening. What kind of things has he talked to you about, Jordan, since you've come to the Cardinals?
Really just how excited he is for me to be a part of it here. He loves pumping my tires up, telling me the potential I've got, and he's a good hype man. Tells me how excited he is to see me kind of like mature and learn how to pitch him deeper in the games, and giving me little tidbits on kind of how to save pitches or just get better deep in the games. It's something you just got to get used to doing, and once you kind of it clicks, it definitely makes it easier to at least believe in yourself late in the game.
See, what was the key for you along those lines? Like late in games, getting deeper through lineups and still having success.
The last thing he just said was just believing in yourself and believing that you can do it. I mean, I think, you don't know that you can pitch deep into the game until you do it,
Yeah.
And until you do it a couple of times, and then you feel like, oh, I kind of got the hang of this where, later in the game you get a second win and you get another, gas that you could step on to kind of finish the game. And when you can smell the finish line, it's almost, it's a skill when you get in the 6th, 7th inning late and the other team knows it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where, you could just wear them down. And by the 6th, 7th inning, they're, swinging at the first pitch of that bat, just trying to get out of there because they know that you're going to finish the game.
Yep.
Jordan, I mean, you've been amazing. You're 5-0. with a 1.47 ERA with St. Louis. We've obviously seen you be a successful pitcher in this league, but why do you think you've been dominating the way that you have since going to St. Louis?
Kind of bullying hitters a little bit. I'm bull rushing heaters, both sides of the plate. And when I'm doing that, it makes my changeup even better. I've got a lot of faith in my changeup, so knowing that I've done the work with my fastball kind of takes a little room for error out of it, and I can really almost throw it anywhere, and there's not much going to be much damage. But if I execute it the way I should, most of the time it's going to be a ground ball or swing and miss.
What do you mean? So go ahead, say. Well, just the term when you say
rushing,
yeah. What does that mean? Yeah,
being aggressive in the strike zone, I think, is the biggest thing that you see from him. From a Cardinal to a Yankee, I think we all know that his changeup and his curveball are plus pitches, right? And I feel like when he was in New York, he was always trying to get to those pitches. Trying to get into a count where he could throw those. And I feel like he just kind of lost his heater. You know what I'm saying? Like he throws 94, 95 miles an hour. So being aggressive with his fastball in the strike zone allows him to get to those other pitches and allows him to get swings and misses on those other pitches. Whereas when he was in New York, he was throwing those other two pitches more than his fastball, and it was allowing people to lay off of it, see it more, and take better swings at the changeup and the curveball, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that sound like the right breakdown for you too, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have much faith in my heater at the Yankees. I mean, I'd been told that it wasn't that good compared to my other pitches, and if I was going to get hit, it was going to be on a curveball or a changeup, which isn't how you can pitch. So if I got 2 strikes on a guy, he was probably auto taken because I was going to throw a curveball or a changeup. So he was just trying to foul a changeup off or see a curveball down. And it's just I'm throwing my fastball in 2 strike counts. I'm throwing anything in any count now. So it's definitely opened up.
And you can see that, Ruco, like he would always try to throw his curveball and his changeup to not get hit. So that's why he was always bouncing curveballs like way in front of the plate, or his changeup would be way off the plate because he's trying to throw it not to get hit, but those are the only 2 pitches he's basically throwing the whole game. It's incredibly hard to pitch like that. I mean, the analytics tells you that these are your best 2 pitches. Yeah, but I have to get to those pitches. You know what I'm saying? Like
I got to set them up. I got to them.
You have to teach a guy how to get to the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's great. There's an art to it. It's great to have analytics and it's great to have all this information. But if you can't tell me how to get to my curveball and my changeup, what's the point of even telling me that those are my best 2 pitches?
I mean, Jordan, when someone says, you said you kind of told your fastball wasn't a good pitch. Like, what's that process like? Like, who's telling you that?
I mean, it's not that it's not as bad. It's just I've got probably one of the best changeups in the game and best curveballs in the game from a lefty. I mean, last year they were really low batting average against and a lot of swing and miss. And so I think people's eyes kind of got big and were like, oh, we want to throw this all the time. And it's just kind of not how I pitch and not how you can. So I kind of got away from what got me to the big leagues, what I've been doing my whole life. And like CC said, when you're throwing your off speed that much, you've got no life on your heater, and then you start aiming, and then I'm throwing 90 instead of 95, and I'm just there's no like aggressive rips anymore. It's just kind of aiming everything to not get hit.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point, Jordan, where you tried to push back on that at all?
Oh, absolutely. But then I would miss a spot and give up a homer because I never threw my four-seamer in. So there was really like no consistent like feel of it. And I would leak middle, or I wouldn't have any confidence in it. And like, I'm thinking, all right, well, I'm throwing this not to hit, get a hit, instead of I'm going to throw this and blow your doors off. So now it's just a whole different aggressive mindset where I'm the guy, I'm a dog on the mound, and I'm just coming right after everybody.
And if that's the game plan, Ruco, that's the game plan. You know what I'm saying? So like if there can't be, I mean, you can push back if you want, but if that's what they're going to put the fingers down and call, you'd be out there shaking your head all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're going to eventually know what I'm shaking to.
Yeah. So it's like, it gets exhausting to just go against the game plan when people are telling you these are your best 2 pitches. So that's what I'm going to throw. And that's why you see so many guys that are starters, but that are long relievers that can't get out of the 4th inning because they just throw their best 2 pitches over and over again and don't know how to set them up with their fastball inside and outside.
But so here's the thing that's interesting to me. As someone who's not, who hasn't been on a big league mound, but obviously loves this game and knows the game. like, to me, it's so obvious that part of the reason that those pitches are effective is because of the ways that they're set up, right? And if you throw them over and over and over and over again, there's a chance that they're not going to be as successful because they haven't been set up properly.
That's not what they tell you, though. They just
which is so weird to me.
That's not what, no, they tell you that the batting average against for me would have been my backdoor slider is whatever it is. So throw that 100 times. You know what I'm saying? That's what they would have preferred me to do that than to try to set it up, throw my cutter and all of that. It was, throw your backdoor slider 80 times if you can.
I mean, but isn't that just like, as a pitcher, aren't you just like, this makes no sense? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
and when you're
7
somebody
years of my life.
Exactly. But when you're somebody that's in a position that I was in, I'm going to say no, absolutely fucking not. Like, I know how to pitch, but you get somebody like Monty and somebody that's just coming up, like I said, the game plan is the game plan. So you're going to do what you're told to do. It is what it is.
Man, I mean, it just, like, to me, that just, it's crazy to me that you could have really smart people sort of overlooking something that seems so obvious. I mean, to me, I mean, it's crazy to then see the success you're having, Jordan. And I mean, I'm sure there are people that are like, oh man, why weren't we doing that? Like, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'd be thinking. I'd be thinking, like, we weren't having this guy throw his fastball. Look at what it's doing. When you got to St. Louis, like, what was the conversations like with you about the fastball?
First thing, I sat down with Mad Dog, and he pulled up all the pitches I've thrown, and it was actually incredible to see. I mean, down and away to a righty you could barely see the box. There were so many pitches. And inside, it was nothing. I mean, minimal. And he was like, what are we doing here? I mean, you're so set up a way that you could throw it right down the middle and jam somebody. Like, you don't even have to get it in anymore. And I was like, yeah, I know. Same thing for lefties. I only threw inside the lefties, no away. And so, I mean, my glove side heater was just non-existent. So I've just been throwing that more.
Jeez. I mean, it is, and now you just feel like you can go to any quadrant with, and can use any pitch in any count.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've been doing my whole life. I did it in college. I was fastball changeup. That's it. And I threw 88 and I was jamming guys. So, I think back then I just kind of was a competitor and made sure I got in my lanes and tried to get outs and compete. And I'm starting to get back to that and not thinking as much.
Man, I'm laughing just because, I mean, me and Monty had a conversation right after you got traded, and I was like, as soon as you get there, Mad Dog's going to sit you down, and he's going to change something about you. That's and that's probably the first thing, as soon as you walked in, he was probably like, I got something for you. Because that's the first thing. As soon as I walked in the clubhouse in Milwaukee, I said, what's up to everybody? And he was like, come in my office. I just knew that Mad Dog would, be able to help you get back to who you really are. And that's, at your core is competing and getting outs. Yeah. And he's going to let you do that.
Yeah, I told you, I was just spinning cutters. I haven't really thrown it that much anymore. And he was like, let me see that grip. Try this. And I threw it, and it was an absolute dud. But he was like, look good.
And for those who don't know, Mad Dog is Mike Maddox, the pitching coach of the Cardinals. How about just like, this is so interesting, Jordan. I think one of the things we love about R2C2 is some of the sort of in-depth pitching conversations we get to have, thanks to having C as a host of the podcast, right? And the perspective that C brings, and then the way you guys are able to talk with each other. How about this, the conviction mentally, like with the fastball, like knowing, okay, not only are you throwing it more, but you feel better about it. Like how important is that, guys, with your fastball, to feel good about the fastball you're letting rip?
If you're scared, you're going to get hit. I mean, there ain't nothing else to say. If you're scared, you ain't going to rip it like it should be. And it's not going to have any conviction behind it. So if you're throwing something, it's got to have some faith behind it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the belief in the pitch is everything. For me, a lot of the times, it could be Jorge, it could have been McCann, it could be Russell Martin back there. If it's they wanted a fastball in, and I wanted to throw a slider. But if they really believed in that fastball in, like we've been had this conversation before the game, if you really think that I should throw it, don't give me another sign. And I can throw it with conviction. No matter, you know what I'm saying? Like if I believe in it and you believe in it, then the pitch is gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter if everybody in the park I'm throwing a backdoor slider. If I fucking execute it, there's no way a guy can hit it. So
absolutely,
that's all it's about is conviction when you're out on the mound. And the better you feel about it, and less things that you have to worry about. If you got Yadier back there, if you've already had your meeting with Mike Maddox and you feel good about being out there on the mound, you let anything rip. You know what I'm saying? And with conviction and confidence, and go out there and start throwing up zeros.
Yep.
What's the experience been like throwing to Yadier?
I got nothing to think about. I mean, like CC said, if he calls it and he believes in it, then I believe in it. So I'm gonna rip it. I mean, I threw like 7 fastballs up and in to a guy in a row. And I'm like, whatever. All right, Yachty. Like, let's ride. I'm with you, dude. And I punched his ticket. I mean, so definitely that's giving me confidence just throwing to him. I mean, he's incredible. And he's good. He's thinking, he's playing chess. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's setting everybody up for like their 3rd or 4th AB. And it's fun to watch. Like just when I'm not even pitching and I'm watching him manipulate the game. Like, all right, this guy's going deep in the game today because he's gotten everyone out twice with just fastballs, basically. Like quick outs is a thing. I mean, everybody's not full count anymore, and you can just go after guys. I mean, he's just an aggressor.
You seem like just more open, Jordan. Like more, you just seem happier. You seem like you seem like you're in this amazing place right now. How would you describe the way you feel about the trade now, today, compared to how you felt about it when you learned the news?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm wanted here. They traded for a guy that's going to pitch in the playoffs for them, and who knows, they might lock me down and want me long term, but they traded for a dog and somebody to get them through the playoffs, and it's nice to feel wanted. The fans are great here. Nothing but encouraging. I've been told I'm the nicest baseball player they've ever met by a kid. I mean, like, I'm signing autographs and these kids are like, I want to buy your jersey and all this. I'm like, well, I've never had a jersey sold, so that'll be nice. I don't know. It's just, I'm a dude here, I guess.
That's cool. I mean, that's got to make you feel good.
Yeah. I mean, I feel wanted, so it's easier to be myself. Came right in here trying to teach young guys kind of how to carry themselves. I know my routine. I know what I need to do to get things done. And it's just a good environment to be around.
See, am I wrong? Doesn't Jordan just seem like he's like, God, loving who he is in his own skin right now?
Yeah, I mean, he's always like that to me, but
well, yeah.
But I think he was even, like I talked to him 2 nights after the trade, and then I talked to him 3 days after that, and he was even in a different space. You know what I'm saying? From, the 2 days after to, the 3 days when he got to St. Louis. So, I mean, like you said, going to a place where you feel like you want it, going to another historical franchise with, I mean, I'm not going to say less pressure, but not as much of this, you know what I'm saying? It gets to turn into more like summer baseball. You're having fun again with your boys. You get to hang out. You get to go to dinner because you got getaway day games now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's much more like, like a summer baseball thing than it is like a job every day when you're in New York. It's a different feeling. So getting a chance to go from here to there and still playing in a meaningful organization. Like I said, I told you when he got traded, I was like, bro, he's going to pitch there for the next 10, 15 years. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. And I still feel strong about that. And I'm just excited, to get a chance to watch him develop and grow into the guy that he's supposed to be, which is a frontline starter in the big leagues.
Mm. Adam, I was just thinking of Wainwright. Jordan, when you get traded and you're kind of like just going through that, that whirlwind process. C's talked about it a lot. How long did it take for you to get comfortable and to kind of like, just get through the aftershock of what was, by all accounts, a really surprising trade?
Yeah. It's definitely a shock. First of all, I was like, man, like these are my guys. Like, I'm not going to see Jameson as much anymore. Like, I've been with Higgy for the last 7 years. Alfonso, the trainer there, is like, those three are probably like the people I talk to the most every day. And so it happened and kind of shocked me.
You got to answer that, Jordan? Tell him to call back later.
I'm in the club. He's a lot right now. I just hung up on somebody. Anyway, yeah. Once I kind of just got out of the locker room, it was easier, but I was more worried about my fiance because she had just gotten to New York. I feel like those trades always come at the worst times. And she had we were 3 days in together, her doing her away rotation in New York. But she's kind of just saw how happy I was here and supports me and got through New York, and she's back in Charleston now, and it's worked out. But once I knew she was okay, I kind of could settle in even more.
You know what's so interesting about that, like, is I think in the way we cover sports and, what a vessel for entertainment it is, sometimes we don't consider just how crucial that component is in order for you to perform, right? Making sure the home front is settled, especially around the trade deadline. I know I have a different appreciation for it now, having a daughter, having a wife, just with my own job with travel. And like, if, if like all of a sudden it's like, oh, you've been gone so long, whatever, or there's, whatever, there's stuff you wish you could be home to deal with, it makes it harder. So if your fiance is just getting to New York because she has a job there, now all of a sudden you're traded, like, yeah, Jordan, if she's like, what the hell, it's going to be harder for you to pitch. So,
yeah,
right? Like, it's the little things that we don't necessarily think about, but actually affect your performance. And so, yeah, kudos to her for, navigating that, man.
She's a trooper. So she's been great. She helped me move out and shipped everything to me whenever I had to. Of course, I forgot stuff. So she's been making trips to St. Louis as often as she can. She just left this weekend, and like I said, she's a trooper. She's the best.
Yeah, no, the baseball wife, significant other, or the person that holds the house down is really the MVP of the family. Like
the job on top of a job.
Yes, that's the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, for us to be able to go out and perform, everything needs to be run smoothly here. We know life, nothing ever runs smoothly in life. You know what I'm saying? So, for Kinsey, for everybody, all of the other significant others in the world that have to deal with this stuff, it's like, they are the MVPs of our lives. And really, the fans should definitely recognize that too, because they hold it down, when shit hits the fan. It's crazy. It's crazy, the stuff. Even like, look at Tom Brady dealing with it right now. He's dealing with family at home issues. You know what I'm saying? He 45 years old. He said, I got a lot of shit going on, bro. I can't imagine being in my 40s right now still trying to play a fucking sport. Like, no thanks, cuz. Like, it's too much shit going on.
But yeah, exactly, man. He took 11 days off from that. And for people who are just used to like, well, this is the game time, this is the practice time, these figures show up at these times, forget that like just because it's what's expected by all who consume the product, it doesn't mean that it's easily accepted by all those who are in the same home as the person that you're watching.
They can care the least amount. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, right. Oh, you're the ace of the New York Yankees? That's great. Your 12-month-old just shit on the floor.
I've been here alone for 8 hours, so I don't care how good of a game you threw. You need to get home now.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly, man. Exactly. 100%. Jordan, how about watching Pujols?
Dude, he is making history, and it's so cool to be a part of it. He's good.
What is it like right now, every one of his at-bats as he creeps closer to 700?
Every single fan's on their feet, phones out, and I mean, everyone's expecting it to be something hit hard. I mean, he's literally barreling everything up right now, and it's cool. I think he's going to do it. Knock on wood. So hopefully, I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, man. It's amazing to watch. I know, you were tweeting about it a little. I forget when you started posting about like, hey, go get that 700. But
yeah, man, I'm hoping he gets it. I'm hoping, he can get the 700. It's just cool to see him do it back in a Cardinals uniform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like after all these years, he had such a historic run at the beginning, and to be able to, to see him hopefully, get to 700 or close to it. It's going to be a lot of fun this September. I think it's going to be fun to watch, baseball this September with Judge, chasing down 61 in a Yankee uniform, and then Pujols chasing 700 in the Cardinals uniform is going to be super dope.
Yeah. Jordan, besides your contributions on the field, you also must have some magic touch because, when you're with the Yankees, they're the best team in baseball. You leave, and now the Cardinals have been the hottest team in baseball since you got there. So you're providing that good juju, man.
Yeah. I'm not going to take any credit for that. I think the Cardinals are a really good team, but my personality was, I guess, pretty calming in the clubhouse. I was a goofball. As CC seen me. Yep. Me and Jameson kind of fed off of each other and had people cracking up, and I was close to everybody in there. So, I definitely heard it was a shock to the players. But I don't like seeing them struggle. I want to be playing them in the World Series. Best case scenario.
Oh, good for you, Monty. You're a good dude, bro.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
I'll beat them 2 times, but
I was thinking, if I was you, I'd want them to go 10-40 the rest of the year. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's interesting. Where does that come from?
For you, though, Ruko. I'm telling you.
Is it because those are your guys? Because you're friends with all of them, Jordan?
Yeah, they didn't trade me. It was upper management. They were just as shocked as I was.
Yep.
So I've got no grudges against anybody over there. But it is what it is. It's a business, I guess.
Hey, what was it like that first start though? That sucked. That had to suck.
It sucked. It sucked. But I wasn't gonna lose. I can tell you that.
That had to suck. Just like you're trying to settle in, like in your first game, like the guys come in town. That's like, ugh.
Yeah, it was definitely weird, but I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to get my name going here. A couple shutout innings against the Yankees will be a good way to do it.
Absolutely. That's funny.
Who was the hitter that was most awkward to face?
Higgy kept smiling, and he knew everything I was going to throw. He's been catching me forever. So, like, I had him. I was like dotting pitches on him, and he got to a full count and hit a single up the middle or something, like an infield single. He thought it was hilarious. He texted me after.
Yo,
he's a goon.
You can never get your catchers out. Like there's absolutely no chance you can get like a guy that caught you for a whole season will always be able to hit you. Always.
Really?
Always.
They just because they know what you're thinking so
not
much.
Not even so much they know what you're thinking. They've seen your ball. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
they've seen
saying?
it
Like,
move every
they've
way it
seen
can.
every way it can. Like, you've thrown everything that you can throw to them. You know what I'm saying? So, and they've seen it over and over and over. So there's literally no, like, you can't tunnel anything to a guy that has
There's
caught you
no
over.
fooling them.
There's no
Yeah.
fooling them at all. You can't trick them at all.
What is that term when you say you can't tunnel them? See,
Just throwing different pitch, like you can't throw, like tunneling means like throwing the same pitch out of the same arm angle. So like
Okay.
my fastball and my changeup and my slider coming all out of the same window. So
Got
if
you.
they've seen all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing for me to. There's nothing I can't trick them.
With the Cardinals fans, you gave us a little feel with that anecdote about your jersey, but how would you just describe the relationship between the city of St. Louis and this baseball team and what you've been able to experience and observe thus far?
It's definitely like a baseball city. And these fans are like ride or die. I mean, you could give up 10 in an inning, and if you've been shoving, or even if you haven't, I mean, they're with you. So, I guess that takes a little. I was always worried about getting booed off the mound in New York, and just, I mean, the pinstripes are heavy. I mean, not everyone can handle it. I feel like I handled it okay. I could have been better, but there was a lot of things going into that, I guess. But here I'm just being myself and pitching the way I want to. And I guess the fans have kind of embraced me so far in my 5 starts as the Cardinal.
Do you think now, like just, whatever month plus removed, is there a part of you that already is in a place of saying like, this was the best thing that could have happened for me in my career? Have you thought that yet?
No, I haven't thought that yet. I mean, the Yankees were good to me for 7 years, so I'm not going to say anything bad about them. I always thought I was going to be a Yankee lifer, because just when you come up homegrown, they take care of you, and not everyone can pitch in Yankee Stadium. I mean, we traded for Sonny Gray, and that didn't work out well. We traded for Joey Gallo, that didn't work out well. When you trade for someone and they pitch in New York, you never know how it's going to work out. So, I kind of felt safe and thought I was going to be there for forever, or for at least a few more years, get free agency and see what happened. But, I'm just going with where the Lord takes me, and we'll see what happens now.
Well, I'm going to say it. It's the best thing that ever happened to him in his career. I'll say it.
I agree.
It's going to work out great, bro. I'm telling you. This is going to be the perfect. I told you that the night that I called you that day. This is going to be perfect.
What about just looking at the National League, Jordan? I mean, C is like so fired up for the National League playoffs. He's been waiting for this for months already. But when you look at the Mets, the Dodgers, obviously the way you guys are playing now, what kind of stands out, just assessing how difficult the Braves,
forgetting the Braves.
Yeah, exactly. I knew I was forgetting another heavy hitter there. What stands out about just how difficult it's going to be to navigate October in the National League?
I mean, there's just kind of stacked teams. I mean, everyone's good. Lineups are pretty holeless, so you got to make pitches, and can't really make many mistakes, especially down the middle of the plate.
Yeah, no, I think those 4 teams, Cardinals, Braves, Dodgers, and Mets, are built like old school American League teams, like old school American League lineups where they got speed and power up and down the lineup. There's no holes. You got to make pitches.
Great defense.
You have to throw strikes because they're going to wait you out. It's a veteran.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the lineups are going to make you throw the ball over the plate. They're not going to get themselves out. So I think, man, the NL playoffs is going to be a dogfight. Like, it's going to be crazy, and there's so much good pitching in the National League that it's going to be some great games, man. It's going to be some instant classics, and I think the series are all going to be long. You know, I think the 5-game series are all going to go 5, and I think, you know, the the CS and the World Series are going to be long too, 6-7 games. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Buckle up, Jordan. How you handling that St. Louis Heat, man?
Man, my first game here, hottest day of the year. I haven't drank any water. I go out there and I'm absolutely whole body shutting down. I'm like, these people think I'm so soft now.
Cramping up the first day.
Oh, Mad Dog was calling me crampy for a week and a half. I thought I was going to fight Mad Dog.
Wait, what kind of a maniac doesn't drink water on the day they're pitching? Never mind in that heat.
Well, I did the day I pitched, but I was a whirlwind. I'm packing. I'm trying to go. I hung out with my fiance one last night, went out to dinner, and then I'm flying back and forth. And it was not a typical routine. I can tell you that.
Hey, and for that heat, you got to start drinking water 3-4 days early.
Yeah.
You got to be on it, guys.
Constant hydration. Jordan, we're so happy for you, man. Obviously, the Yankees miss you, and I'm sure they wish they would have just had you throw more 4-seamers. I'll say it, they won't. But you've been absolutely killing it in St. Louis, and you know, continued success. Can't wait to watch you pitch down the stretch, and then in October, and just so happy for you. Thank you for giving us this time, because I know our audience from the second you got traded was so anxious to hear from you. So I know they're going to eat this up, man. So we appreciate you giving them the chance to hear you.
Awesome. Yeah. Appreciate y'all having me on. CC, we gotta play some golf here soon now that I can play golf.
Yeah, no doubt. For sure in the off season. We'll get together.
Well, when you come to Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you can play during the season.
We play during the season. We played Chicago Country Club in Chicago. And I think we're playing Oakmont or something in Pittsburgh coming up. So.
Oakmont is dope. Yeah, okay, I'm in. I'm coming to Milwaukee. I'll be on that trip, so I'll bring my clubs.
I'll get a rental set or something.
I don't want no excuses, bro. Like, bring your clubs, cause I don't want to hear no excuses.
I played with you and Sonny that one time, and I was trash. You remember that?
Oh shit!
Hey, no excuse not to bring your clubs when you got, you know, chartered flights and a bunch of people to help with those bags. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Honestly, I should probably get mine sent up.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. Well, Jordan, good luck on the golf course and on the mound. Thank you for everything, man.
All right. Thank y'all for having me.
Appreciate you guys. Good luck the rest of the way.